Friends, welcome back to NRI Samay. Wherever you are in the world, a very warm good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your today's host, Shri from Los Angeles. Again, it's being called the same thing, cash for votes scam. Over and over again, nothing new. Been hearing the same behind the door efforts all the time in political space. But the media supposedly says that this is the first time in the history of independent India that the audio tapes of an alleged conversation of a chief minister or a shady deal surfaced. Pretty exaggerated, it looks like. It reminds us of one of that showed up on the national scene a few years back, where it was about rescuing the Manmohan Singh's government. Amar Singh is indicted in this case, and it still seems work in progress as far as judiciary is concerned. Recently, Telugu Desam Party Telangana MLA Revanth Reddy was caught red-handed by the Telangana State Anti-Corruption Bureau, and Revanth tried horse trading an independent MLC, Elvis Stephenson, to boost the morale of the party, which is losing its sheen in the Telangana region. It looks like it's a desperate attempt, and the desperism seems evident in the videotapes that surfaced. And in the tapes, Revanth Reddy repeatedly brought up the name of AP Chief Minister Shri Chandrababu Naidu. Now, Chandrababu Naidu won the 2014 election, claiming clean governance and honest politics. And this new set of audio tapes that emerged this Sunday, and if the tapes are true to its nature, the Chief Minister himself seems to have had a conversation with Elvis Stephenson to give the independent MLC some sort of confidence that he would be taken care of politically if he abides by the TDP's agenda in the MLC election that just concluded. At NRI Samay Radio, we do have Justice Markandey Katju right now to help us understand the depth and breadth of this issue and give us some legal insights into this crisis. Justice Katju Sahab needs no introduction, and he has been a Supreme Court Justice earlier and headed the Press Council of India. Many Indians follow him closely on the social networks. You can also follow his blog, justicekatju.blogspot.com. His opinions and views add new perspectives and dimensions to the ongoing conversation on the issues related to the nation. So, Justice Katju Sahab, first of all, thank you so much for being on NRI Samay, sir. Welcome to the program, sir.
My pleasure.
So today I see your Facebook page, and you coined a very new term, politistitutes, which almost means like political prostitutes. What thoughts made you coin this word, sir?
Well, you may have heard that General V.K. Singh, who was the army chief and now has become a minister in the present government, he coined the word prostitutes for media people.
Right.
So that gave me an idea of coining a word politistitutes for politicians in India, because most of them are worse than prostitutes. They have no honor, no shame. You know, a prostitute, at least she does not pretend to be different from what she is. But these people, they talk of morality and serving the people and serving the poor, whereas these politicians have been looting the country shamelessly. They are a set of rogues and rascals who deserve to be executed. It is a disgrace for India that our leaders are these robbers and gangsters who have looted the country and have no morals. So that is why I have coined the term politistitutes, meaning politicians who are prostitutes. In fact, they are worse than prostitutes.
Sir, coming to this issue of Revanth Reddy, I know this whole episode has been swirling around. I've seen your Facebook pages where you've been talking about it. There's nothing new of a topic to talk. But then, sir, this issue is about tampering of democracy blatantly and about horse trading. Telugu Desam Party MLA Revanth Reddy takes the name of Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu in the video evidence that was submitted to the court. Is there trouble for the Chief Minister, sir? What is your view of this episode, sir?
It is nothing new. This has been going on for a long time in India. The word horse trading was invented for this very purpose, that all these, or at least 99% of these politicians are for sale. They are like horses who can be bought. So the word horse trading has been bought. You remember in 1993 when Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao was made the Prime Minister.
Right.
His government did not have a majority in the Lok Sabha. So they paid money by check. I was told that 40 crore rupees by check was paid to the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader, Mr. Shibu Soren. It was paid by check. I mean, there's no doubt about it, for getting the votes of those JMM leaders to win the vote of confidence in the Lok Sabha. Otherwise, the government would have fallen. Then the matter went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court, in a very strange judgment, said that those who took bribes for voting in favor of in the Narasimha Rao government, they did no crime. It is not a crime under the Prevention of Corruption Act, which I think was an absurd judgment given by the Supreme Court. It was a shocking judgment that a person who has taken openly a bribe by check, 40 crore, there is no doubt about it, it was deposited in the bank for voting in favor of Mr. Narasimha Rao. And the Supreme Court said that they have not committed any crime because of Article 105. They gave a strange interpretation to that constitutional provision. So this has been going on for very long. I don't know why people are making such a hue and cry about this new cash for vote scam in Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. This has been going on for a very long time. This is nothing new. I don't know what is the big deal. Why are people making so much fuss about it?
I think the deal here, sir, looks like for the Telangana, after the state split, Telangana folks are pretty much very angry about Chandrababu Naidu, who has been blocking this whole idea of the state of Telangana. That's where the anger comes from. And from the Andhra side, they just got rid of Jagan Reddy, who had to take the top seat in AP. And Chandrababu Naidu was claiming repeatedly that he would bring in this honest governance, and then he will stand strong against corruption. And also he has been involved in this Anna Hazare movement where he did a 10-kilometer walk or something like that. So I think the hue cry is that he repeatedly told that he would be honest in the upcoming governance side of it, and that's where maybe it's coming from. Of course.
Listen, please understand about Indian politics. I mean, have some basic idea at least. Indian politics cannot be done without corruption. You see, firstly, in each election, you need about 10 crores or something like that.
Right.
Where will a person get that money from? Except somebody who has got some black money or some crooked person. Now, he will, when he wins the election, he has invested 10 crores. So it is like a business investment. He has to then recover 50 crore or 100 crores by some corrupt methods. You understand?
Right.
So people have to spend a huge amount of money in an election. Ordinary man cannot contest an election. It is only these people who have amassed wealth illegally by some crooked method who can contest an election. Secondly, to run a political party requires huge amount of funds. Where is all the money going to come from? It is all coming from these illegal methods, some shady deals, some mining mafia, building mafia, some crooked method. So politics in India cannot be done without corruption. Please get your concepts clear.
Right.
Now, whether it is Chandrababu Naidu or whether KCR or XYZ, without becoming corrupt, you cannot do politics in India.
Right.
Because it costs such a huge amount of money. Where are you going to get the money from? They may say that we are honest, but that's why I said that these people are worse than prostitutes. At least a prostitute does not pretend to be different from what she is. These people claim that they are honest. Everybody is talking of honesty and cleaning up the system. When everybody knows that they are part of the system, and in the system you cannot operate without being corrupt, because it costs a huge amount of money in the elections and in running the organization and so on and so forth.
Right.
So this is all empty talk.
Exactly, sir. I think with this ongoing drama, let's take it as a drama, because as you mentioned, there's no outcomes. It's just a hue cry, and for no reason. So with the base facts out right now in the open, should the ACB summon Chandrababu Naidu, sir? What's your take on that, sir?
Listen, they may do anything they like. First, get your concepts clear. In India, the whole state structure has collapsed.
Okay.
The constitution has exhausted itself. Now the legislature has collapsed. It is not functioning. The judiciary has to a large extent become corrupt. I was a member of it. I know it from deep inside. Right. So all the state organizations have become hollow and empty shells. So whether you call it ACB or you call it Lok Ayukt or whatever, Lokpal, all this, no, it is all nonsense. The whole system has collapsed in India. The whole state structure has become rotten to the core. It is like a building which has become totally dilapidated. It cannot be repaired, it cannot be renovated. It has to be demolished and a fresh construction has to be made. So the whole structure now cannot be reformed. It is useless. It is yes, it is living in a fool's paradise to think that you can reform the system and you can remove corruption. Everybody talks of removing corruption. I can tell you, the person who seriously tries to abolish corruption will not be able to eliminate corruption, but that person himself will be eliminated. He will be bumped off by this mafia, which means the big politician, the corrupt politician, and the big businessmen, and the building mafia, the mining mafia. They will join hands and eliminate such a person. As happened to that Mr. D.K. Ravi, that IAS officer.
Yes,
he was trying to suppress corruption or whatever.
Yeah.
You will be eliminated. So don't seriously try to suppress corruption. Just pay lip service to it. Just talk about it. Pretend. You suspend a few clerks or something like that. Say that I caught these clerks taking bribe. But don't go after the big sharks. If you do that, you are inviting trouble for yourself, and you will yourself be eliminated. So this system is finished. In India, I know, I was deep inside the system. It is all hollow. There's no use trying. It is beyond redemption. Whether Parliament, whether judiciary. In Parliament, half the members are criminals. They have criminal backgrounds. And what happens in Parliament? Parliament, there's no rational discussion. People are shouting and screaming all at the same time. You may have seen on television.
Yes.
It is televised. Parliament hardly functions. All the time their members are rushing to the well of the house and all shouting together, in a most indisciplined manner, rowdy manner. Is this the way a disciplined organization is supposed to run? They are a set of rowdies sitting there, and there's no discipline. Half of them are criminals, and they are 90% or 99% corruption. Politicians are totally corrupt. They are goons, they are rascals, they are rogues. They deserve to be executed. But they are unfortunately our leaders. What is to be done? Exactly,
yeah. And looking at this nature of this episode that has unfolded, sir, of course it has been over and over. Cash for votes, as you mentioned, is not new. Do you think Chandrababu Naidu is deep into this issue, or it's just fabricated?
Listen, I am telling you, they are all in the issue, whether Chandrababu Naidu or KCR and all, they may speak of being honest, but you cannot be honest. Without being corrupt, you cannot do politics in India.
Right.
Whether in this particular case he offered money or not, I don't know fact, but I'm telling you, generally you cannot be honest if you want to do politics in India.
Right.
Because it is such an expensive thing, and then people are out there not to serve the public. They have no genuine love for the people. These politicians, they have no genuine love for the people. They are out there to make money and deceive the people by talking of serving the people. So they are a bunch of crooks and rogues and rascals.
Right. So after this crisis, calling it a crisis also, after you're talking of what you have said, crisis doesn't also make sense. But after this, throwing of audio tapes, video tapes out in the open, both the chief ministers of Telangana and Andhra meet the governor, E.L. Narasimhan. What's the role of governor, sir? Does he's got anything to do here?
See, governor is just a figurehead. What can the governor do? Real powers are with the chief minister, because we have a parliamentary system of democracy. The president and governor are just nominal heads. This was held in the well-known Supreme Court judgment in Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab, of decision of 1974, given by a bench of 7 judges of the Supreme Court. Shamsher Singh versus State of Punjab. That we have followed the British system, British parliamentary system. So the president and governors are like the British king.
Right.
Now the British king has very little power. Real power is with the prime minister. So here it is prime minister, and in the states the chief minister. The king has only 3 powers, as was said by Walter Bagehot, the constitutional expert, in his book called the English Constitution. The right to be consulted, the right to encourage, and the right to warn.
Right.
These are the only three powers which the British king has. The right to be consulted, the right to encourage, and the right to warn. So this similar power has, the governor has. He has no real power. It's all with the elected chief ministers.
Right. Sir, also in the scary part of this whole issue that's been happening, of course, putting aside all the facts that you have told, that this is dead deep into the rut that we are looking at in the nation, as far as mentioned the collapse of the judiciary, legislative, and executive side of India. But at least in this case, the scary part is that the Telangana leaders and Andhra leaders, including the CMs of the state, are making it a state issue and instigating people more than the issue of the corruption that needs to be talked about. And bad politics starts right from here, right, sir? So not all people concur with the thoughts, because the issue at the hand right now is the corrupt practice of TDP and its president. And issue is not about Telangana or AP. But driving majority towards hatred is as worst as a hate communal speech, right, sir? It's almost like a communal speech that the speeches
I told you, these politicians have no shame for getting votes. They are prepared to instigate communal riots, caste riots, regional riots. They have no morals, no ethics. They are a set of rogues and rascals. So to secure their vote banks and their constituencies, they can do anything. They can instigate riots, hatred, everything they will do to hold on to power, because it is through the power that they can earn money. They are out there for power and pelf. They have no genuine love for the country. They are a set of rogues and rascals. I tell you, the system in India has totally collapsed. There's nothing left now. It is some kind of a French Revolution or something is coming in India. The system has totally collapsed. It's rotten to the core. The parliament is not functioning, judiciary is not functioning, executive is not functioning. They are all largely corrupt. I know the judiciary has become largely corrupt. There are serious allegations against the present Chief Justice of India, that is Justice Dattu. I have put up a blog. I received a dossier about his alleged corruption. I put it up on my Facebook. You can see it on my Facebook page and my blog. And half the previous Chief Justice of India were corrupt, as Mr. Shanti Bhushan, the former Union Law Minister, said in an affidavit which he filed in the Supreme Court. Half the previous Chief Justice of India and subsequent Chief Justice of India were also alleged to be corrupt. Those who became Chief Justice of India after that affidavit of Shanti Bhushan was filed, there were serious allegations against many of them. So the whole system is rotten to the core. It has become an empty shell. Whether it is parliament, whether it is judiciary, whether it is bureaucracy, they are all rotten to the core. There is nothing left. The constitution has exhausted itself. Now the whole thing will have to be demolished and fresh construction has to be done. Some kind of, we are heading for very chaotic, turbulent times, something like the French Revolution or something like that.
Right. Sir, election commission is pretty much, on paper, they talk it as an independent election commission. What's its role in this whole episode, sir?
I told you, election commission is also hollow. I'm telling you, everything has become hollow in this country. They will do nothing. They will just pretend to do this, that, everything is hollow, including election commission. Nothing is left in India. I'm telling you the truth.
Okay.
So it is no use. I mean, living in a world of illusions, or a world of in a fool's paradise. There is nothing left in India. I mean, in the state organization, things are, this is a transitional period in our history. As you may have seen my speech both in Berkeley as well as in Stanford.
Right.
They are both on YouTube. If you type Justice Katju Berkeley and Justice Katju YouTube, Justice Katju Stanford, on YouTube, you can hear both my speeches. And in both the speeches, I said that we are passing through a transition period in our history in India, and next 20 years are going to be very turbulent, very chaotic in India. I mean, everything is going to be topsy-turvy, almost civil war conditions are going to prevail. Things are going to get worse and worse.
Wow.
Already they are bad, but they are going to get much, much worse in the coming few years, and next 15, 20 years are going to be very turbulent in India.
Right. So, you've been this Chief Justice of India, and then
no, I was not Chief Justice.
The judge in Supreme Court. Sorry, sir. If we dig the past, I know you can throw some light on this. Ajit Jogi did the same thing in Chhattisgarh, right? Caught by the Baliram Kashyap trying to buy the MLAs, and of course Congress suspended it. What's the case, sir? What happened in that case, sir? Did it progress anywhere, or did it all the same?
I don't know. Frankly, I don't know about that case. But I'm saying that I don't take any interest in it because everybody knows what is happening in India. These people, these politicians are all purchasable. Leave aside a few rare exceptions. They are all purchasable commodities. That is why the word horse trading has been coined. I mean, how shameful it is that politicians are being described as horses for sale.
Right.
In fact, I have called them even that they are worse than prostitutes. At least prostitutes, they do not pretend to be something different from what they are. These chaps pretend to be very, of a moral character, but they are gangsters, having no shame, no honor, no genuine love for the country. Right.
So if you've just mentioned rare exceptions, Rastal, in those rare exceptions, can you name some few who?
No, I can't name. I offhand I cannot name. There may be a rare exception, or there may not be a rare exception. I cannot say. Okay. I'm just leaving it just in case there may be one or two rare. But otherwise, the general rut is all rotten. These politicians, they have no shame, no honor, no ethics, and no genuine love for the country. They talk about serving the poor country, but it's all empty talk. They are there for looting, for amassing wealth for themselves and for their family members.
Right.
So things are very bad in India, and they are going to get much worse.
Yeah.
Next 15, 20 years are going to be very turbulent in India. Very chaotic conditions are coming into India.
Mm-hmm. And you see less hope, at least in the new government, or
not at all. Nothing. They're all the same. And in fact, I've been advising people living in the Bay Area who have been living here that don't even dream of going back to India permanently. You may go for a holiday for a few weeks. That's a different matter. Don't go there. Otherwise, you will regret it, because the cities have become unlivable. There's massive pollution, massive corruption, garbage everywhere. No traffic jams, congestions, shortage of water, shortage of power, and so on. So you will, if you go there permanently, you will regret your decision. Here you are living in great comfort, so keep living here.
Right. So great hope, and people voted to power in Delhi. What's your take on the Delhi government, sir? What's?
It is all the same. All empty talk. This Aam Aadmi Party and Kejriwal, they will only pretend to suppress corruption. They will not genuinely do it, because Kejriwal is not a fool. He knows that if he genuinely tries to suppress corruption, corruption will not be eliminated, but Kejriwal will be eliminated. The mafia will gang up against him and bump him off. So he's not such a fool. He will just, maybe he may suspend a few clerks or something just to give a pretense of suppressing corruption, but he will not genuinely go after the big sharks, people who are looting on a big scale. So he will just do empty talk. So he is no different. He's a seasoned politician now. He is just like others. He talks of being honest and all that. Personally, he may be, but you cannot do politics without corruption. Where do you get the money for all this? Right. So he will all indulge in empty talk, but he is just like the others.
Interesting. Sir, in the past few months, or at least a year and a half or so, did you see any of these institutions, at least one, which you felt was at least trying to better itself, sir?
Try to?
Better itself and then perform.
No. Everything has collapsed. All the institutions, the state institutions has collapsed, the educational system has collapsed, the healthcare system has collapsed. Everything in India has collapsed. There is massive poverty. There is, half the children are malnourished. There's large-scale farmer suicides. There's the educational system has collapsed. There's massive unemployment. There are 10 million youth are coming into the job market in India every year. 10 million. But there are only 500,000 jobs which are being created in India in the organized sector of the economy. So what happens to the remaining 9.5 million? They become criminals, or they become hawkers or street vendors. The girls become prostitutes. There is massive prostitution in India because to fill one stomach, a girl has to sell her body. So things are going to get much worse. All this talk of Vikas, which Mr. Modi had promised that there will be development. So the youth voted for him thinking that millions of jobs will be created, because the youth thought that Vikas meant that millions of jobs will be created. And the voting age in India has been reduced from 21 to 18.
Right.
So the youth voted en masse for Mr. Modi in the May 2014 elections, thinking that once he comes to power, we'll get jobs. Youth are only interested in jobs. But the jobs are not there. Jobs can't be created by shouting and screaming. Jobs are created when the economy is rapidly expanding. But in India, the economy is at a standstill. It is totally stagnant. So youth are totally frustrated, and therefore in the February 2015 elections, they voted for Aam Aadmi Party. They wanted to teach a lesson to Mr. Modi, who had taken them for a ride, who had deceived them, cheated them, saying that there will be Vikas. There is no Vikas. It is all empty talk.
Right.
So there is total economic stagnation in India. In fact, layoffs have been taking place. So things are very bad.
Yeah. Sir, one last thing I want to talk about is the media. In this whole episode, the role of this AP and Telangana media channels are really questionable. Subtly and quietly, they're trying to take sides and then push the rhetoric of their favorable party. So in what way, you've been heading the press council of India, sir. In what way can media be streamlined, or what do you think about media at this point in time, sir?
Media cannot be streamlined, just as the whole system cannot be streamlined. Except for just a few upright journalists, rest are what General V.K. Singh has said. They are prostitutes, which means they are prostitutes. They have sold themselves. And they know that if they do not obey the corporates which have taken over the media in India, they will be sacked. So nobody wants to lose his job. So everybody is keeping quiet, and they will serve their masters. Whoever is the owner of the media channel, they will serve him. Otherwise, they will lose their jobs, which nobody wants. So media has no honor and no shame. They have, except for a very few handful of journalists, rest are all sold out. They are as shameless as the politician. They are, as General V.K. Singh says, prostitutes, which means really prostitutes. They have been without any honor, without any shame. They will do whatever their masters tell them to do. So don't rely on the media. They are as bad as the politicians.
Right. So if you have to say one sentence about this whole cash for vote scam, which is not new, which is something in the state of AP, of course. I'm not sure how much you have followed Chandrababu Naidu, his leadership and other things of that nature. But if you have to say one word or one sentence about this whole cash for vote scam in AP that is unfolding right now, in AP and Telangana that's unfolding right now, what do you have to say, sir?
It is symbolic of what is happening in the whole of India. It is nothing new. Why is and there's such a big deal about it? Everybody knows all over India this horse trading takes place. I gave you the example of what happened in the parliament by P.V. Narasimha Rao. He purchased the MPs of the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha, led by Mr. Shibu Soren, by 40 crore payment by check. There was a written documentary proof. So this took place in 1993, and even before that, these people, most of the politicians have no honor, no shame. They are purchasable commodities. So what has happened in this Andhra Pradesh and Telangana is just symbolic of what is happening all over India. Why such a big hue and cry about Telangana and Andhra Pradesh? The same thing is happening everywhere.
Right. Perfect, sir. I really want to thank you for your time today, and thank you for insights and thoughts, sir. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. So, friends, that was Justice Markandey Katju expressing his views on the whole episode. You should certainly go to Facebook and refer to Justice Markandey Katju's Facebook page. Today, he has posted, probably 4 hours back, he's posted about his kind of new term, which is politistitudes. He's mentioning that I just can't understand why there is such a hue and cry being raised over the alleged offer of bribe by TDP legislator Revanth Reddy to Elvis Stevenson for obtaining his vote in the Legislative Council election. What's the big deal? So cash for vote is nothing new. So that's the view of Justice Katju. And Justice Katju was saying that Indian politics have thoroughly become corrupt and most of our politicians are almost rogues and have shamelessly looted the country. And horse trading is pretty much common in our politics and most of the politicians are for sale. He also talked about the word horse trading and how it was coined. And he's been saying repeatedly that even prostitutes have some sort of morality, but not the politicians. Pretty tough terms used there, but at least he was saying that prostitutes don't pretend to be different from what they are. So, and multiple other examples of how the JMM bribery case and how P.V. Narasimha Rao was involved. And shocking to say the least is when Justice Katju mentioned that it was a check transaction that happened in that episode. So hopefully you got some insights and the viewpoint of Justice Katju. And thank you so much for joining, friends. And you can refer to NRI Samay on www.nrisamay.com, facebook.com/NRI Samay, twitter.com/NRI Samay. You can listen to all our archives at youtube.com/NRI Samay. Thank you so much and have a wonderful week to come. Thanks.